I'm going to want to share this one with the YouTube world. So, Trisha, welcome to our YouTube channel.
Thank you.
I didn't send you any questions. We didn't prepare for today. We're just going to have a good chat. But
Yeah,
I did want to start off with telling everyone a little bit about your journey, how you got to symmetry, why you chose
yeah,
symmetry, and then kind of give us a rundown of what's happened the last couple months, like where you're at in your business now. So,
yeah,
where you were before, what brought you here, and then kind of a snapshot of where
yeah,
you're at now, so everyone who doesn't know you can get to know you a little bit more.
yeah. There's a lot of new people here, and a lot of veterans that I already know and just adore. So Trisha Benish, I am direct to the Reineckes, Jacob Hogue, Marshall Wayland, and I watched Sarah Reinecke for 4 years. Sarah Reinecke was actually my business coach when she came to Symmetry, and I was like, I don't know what you're doing over there, but no, thank you. And my background is actually in medicine. I have a doctorate degree in emergency medicine. Look at me now. And I'm retired from the Air Force, 21 years. And when I retired, the whole goal, the whole purpose was to find something that I could do from home, make way more money, and, truly have the flexibility for my two small kids. I did not want to be stuck in an emergency room for 12 hours, a clinic for 8 to 10 hours, charting multiple hours into the evening. I did not want that life anymore. And so I watched Sarah for a long time, and I saw people putting up some numbers. I saw them making money, and I saw them having a lot of fun. And I was like, you know what? What do I have to lose? And I'm the type of person that once I decide on something, my mind is just made up. I'm just all in on it. So yeah, that's how I got
I know
here.
that. I know that about you now. Yeah, that's how I choose my friends.
Yeah.
Like she said she was gonna do it and she went and did it. I can get down with that.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, of course.
You have such a cool background, like doctorate degree, serving in the Air Force, and then coming out and trading in all of your schooling for an insurance license.
Hmm.
Such a cool
Who would have
story.
thought? But you know what? Honestly, doubled my income in medicine,
Yep.
get to work from the comfort of my home. I have not missed a field trip in 2 years.
Yep.
And kids are home today, tomorrow. School starts on Wednesday. I don't have to adjust my calendar. We're good. PTA
Yep.
president, you know?
Yep. When was the last time you were south of a $20,000 income month?
Month 9 in the
Month
business. I've
nine in
been
the
here a little over 2 years. I hit
Okay.
agency owner month 8, 9, 10.
Yep.
And from month 9, 20,000 and above.
Okay. Cool. I'm not sure if you saw my last text message this morning, but the one
Yeah,
thing
I
I
did.
did prepare you with, I would love to hear your favorite symmetry story.
I have two,
Okay, cool. Share with the team.
which it's going to sound crazy because it's not anything hugely groundbreaking, okay? So I went to my first conference 2 years ago. It was September. My first whole month here was in April of 2024. Went to conference in September. And I was just sitting at a table, I think it was breakfast time. And at that time, you guys, actually, when you go to conference, you need to go there with a mission. You need to go there with a purpose. And let me tell you what my purpose was. My entire mission of conference was to put myself in positions so that I believed that I belonged or believed that I deserved a seat at the table. Okay. Trisha, whatever, not even 2 years ago, a year and a half, she didn't believe that she deserved a seat at the table. She did not believe that she deserved a 130 seat, at the table with Delaney, with Scott, I mean, I could go on with the names. And that was my entire goal going to conference, to put myself in positions to help myself believe that I deserved a seat at the table. And there was one conversation that changed the game for me. And I was sitting there, and Tristan Strickland came up to me, gave me a big, Tristan bear hug, right? And he said, Trisha, what can I help you with? And I didn't really know what my question was, right? I just was like, I remember saying some things, whatever. And Tristan said to me, hey, I think when you get back home, you should go to A leads, MIA leads, And I think that you should plan your schedule like the old symmetry system, where you get your leads on Friday, Saturday,
Friday,
you call
Saturday,
them.
Monday. Yeah.
Yes, Friday, Saturday, you run your appointments Saturday, Monday, Tuesday.
Yep.
You knock out your 10 appointments in the beginning of the week, and you can then free your time up for building. That's kind of what we were talking about,
Yeah.
balancing production and building.
Yep.
And I came home from conference. I was working CIA leads before I went to conference. I came home, I upgraded to MIAs, and I did exactly what he told me to do. And it changed the trajectory of my business. I mean, essentially, we came home and hit agency owner. We skipped, key leader. We hit AO month 8, 9, 10. And literally from that one little conversation where, by the way, if you're a leader here, which I mean, all of you are up and coming leaders, you never know when you stop to give somebody some time and a conversation, you have no idea how that could change the trajectory of their business. Tristan Strickland had no idea that that would change my business, but I took the information, I implemented it, and probably the best thing that I've ever done.
That's so good. I think any of the top elite producers on our team fully are bought in that process and that schedule works.
Yeah.
We've talked about this time after time again. But having your leads drop on a Friday, getting the best dial session of the week, in my opinion, is that Friday afternoon pocket. The second
Yeah.
best dial session for me was always Saturday morning from like 10:30 in the morning till about 1:30, couple hours. People aren't really, busy with their days yet. You're catching them in the morning, but it's a weekend, right? They're not in their offices. And then running appointments Saturday afternoon, Monday and Tuesday. And then, the way that it was explained to me too is like you're gonna write the story from Friday to Tuesday, and then you're gonna tell the story on Wednesday and Thursday to the folks that you're interviewing and recruiting. And I'm like, all right, well, I need to have a decent story to tell them. So I need to crunch my 5K a week into a couple day period there. So good.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Write
And
that down if you're new.
I'll tell you, if you're struggling with production, and sometimes it is difficult to time your leads depending on what leads you're working. I get that. But producing sun up to sundown, 7 days a week, that is not the business. Okay. Not the business when you're growing.
You'll burn out and you can't be the
Yep.
president of the PTA if you're doing that. So
Exactly.
Tristan was my first conference special story too.
Yeah.
We both
Tristan's a
went. We
special
both went to
guy.
the first. Our first conference was at the same time, and we were listening to Brian Delaney back up against the wall because it was standing room only. And he leans over to me. He's like, "You new here?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Me too. Just wrote 32,000 last month." I'm like, "What? Okay, all right. So it can be done." You
Yeah.
want a second story?
Yeah, I do. When I hit, so what that looked like is we hit AO, obviously got to be 105 to hit AO. We went to 110, we went to 115, like super quick. I mean, I don't even think we missed anything in there. And so once you hit 115, you get an invite to Agency Owner Academy 2, so AOA 2. And that is led by Delaney. And that's a 2 day just immersive event with Delaney, like going over numbers, his thoughts, his philosophies, and highly recommend you guys, if you get the opportunity to go to AOA2, go. But there was one thing that he said that stuck with me, still think of it probably once a week, is he said, your agents don't need more of you. They don't need more of your time. What they need is recognition and competition. Okay, recognition and competition. Your agents don't need you to spend an hour on a coaching call, nothing like that. They need to be recognized, and they need you to bring in more people that are going to light a fire under them to run, because this new person that you have, they're going, right? They're moving. And so it's your job. If things are getting stagnant, if you are finding yourself maybe like annoyed with the tendencies of one person, or somebody's asking a lot of questions or whatever, if you're feeling any kind of way, the answer is you need your job to bring in that new person that is going to re-engage the entire agency. So they don't need more of you. They need recognition and competition.
That's so good. And that gets
Hmm.
added, like you go to events like that and you plug in and you take something home with you that becomes your leadership philosophy for you that you
Yep.
carry with you throughout your career. That's why events matter. That's what also matters to listen to Brian Laney time he talks.
Yeah.
Time that man
Seriously.
speaks, it's you're gonna take something with you. I love it. I love it.
So,
Yeah,
do
go ahead.
you mind? Let me, can I keep going on that? So, this is going to move into the next thing that we want to talk about, which is promotions. So, last summer, we hit 115. Okay. Last summer, we were 115 for an entire year before we just hit 120 in, what was it, May, June. Okay. An entire year. So, yeah, we're going to talk about that. Okay, we're going to talk
Yep.
about that. So, if you've ever felt stuck, if you are stuck right now, this is the time that you want to like hone in, listen in on this. You mind if I go?
Go. Let it rip.
Okay. So guys, when I think about that entire year, now, you know what, you guys, everybody's journey is going to look different, right? And when you can look back in hindsight and you can say, I see what I did wrong in that year. I see what I could have done differently. I see where I fell short. And in the moment though, guys, you can't see it. You truly can't. You feel like you're chugging along and you feel like you're doing everything right and you feel like this is the path we're supposed to be on. And granted, yes, it was the path, right? That's how it laid out. That was the path. But if you could just, take some things and maybe make some adjustments so that you are not stuck for a year when you are trying to reach your goals. These are the biggest things that I would say that made such a difference. Um, First of all, I built to 115 off of social media alone, which is kind of bananas to me. I was strictly social media until I hit 115. And then,
You're muted. And Trisha, just for clarification, you're meaning on recruiting?
yeah,
Yeah.
recruiting.
Okay.
Hold on a second. I have a child that's doing something crazy.
Oh, that's so good. I was running a meet and greet call. I think it was last Wednesday. Trisha would love this story, but I'll tell it to the rest of you. I'm running a meet and greet call, and I've got like 9 people on this Zoom. Maybe it was 7 or 8. But a group of people that were sitting there, and my son's just about to go down to bed. And my son ran in the room. He's potty training, and he wanted to tell me the big news that he just went poop, and he's got no pants on, completely naked, and I'm on a meet and greet in a second interview with people. So having older kids is a challenge, but having young kids too, I mean, we got to share.
Yeah, yeah. There's apple juice spilling. It's fine. It's not a big deal. Um, so yeah, I built from social media, like recruited from social media up until 115. And in my mind, when we were at 115 and that whole year that we were stagnant, I'm just going to say it. I was stagnant. I was like, we just got to get more people. We just got to build more. I have to incorporate cold market recruiting, do warm, do cold, do both. And this is a good indicator to know if you are stagnant. Okay. One, you're not really tracking your business all too
Yep.
much. You're like, if it issues this month, it's fine. Maybe it'll issue next month. No big deal. And when Snapshot comes out, you're not getting palpitations. Okay. You don't even know when Snapshot comes out. You don't even care if Snapshot is out. That is how you know when you are stagnant. That is how
You've
you
lost your
know, yeah,
yeah, you've lost your pulse.
lost it 100%. And I
Yep.
can I can admit there that for almost a year that was where we were at because I was just like we just need more people, to get from 115 to 120, just need more people, need to grow more people, all the things. And so, guys, I mean, yes, we have some rock stars that came into the agency. You guys heard from Erin and Troyden the other day on accountability. She's killing it. And again, the agency needs competition.
Yep.
Okay. Erin came in, created competition. So then that rose everybody else to be like, oh, okay, yeah, I better get going. And
Yep.
so it was just, everything happening at once. It was a perfect time. However, this is the biggest thing that changed that allowed us to go from 115 to 120. It was a decision on my part. It was a decision for me. Now, I don't care if you are an agency owner. I don't care if you're a team leader, if you're an up and coming team leader, a key leader, if you're a 130, 120. It is your responsibility to create the energy in your agency. It is your responsibility to create that. And you might be thinking, you know, when I say energy, guys, I don't mean like smiling face and energetic. That's not what I mean. I mean, where are you going? Where are you going? What are you working towards? What are your people working towards? What are you doing? What are you doing to generate the energy? And there's two people here that I think of that hold this energy that I see it frequently, and it is Rod and it is Ethan. And y'all hold that energy, okay? And you guys are excited. And what did we talk about the other day when Rod was on accountability? It was like, what came first, the excitement and then the title, or did the title come first and then the excitement? No, the excitement, the energy comes first, and then the result follows, right?
Yep. Yep.
And so we were, it was me deciding, all right, this agency's going for 120, and I decided I was going to lead from the front. My normal is I'll issue 20,000. I'm not trying to be like at the top of the boards anymore like Nick. I'm just like 20, 30, I'm good. I can do that in my sleep, no extra effort. But when we went into this, I was like, I'm going 50, 60. I don't know what it's going to take, but I'm going 50, 60. I looked over at my husband one day. I said, babe, I'm going ham this month. Like, you got everything else. I'm going ham. And again, I'd never written that much. And so I was like, I'm just going all in. And you know what, you guys, whatever you do, your agency is gonna follow suit. They're just gonna follow right up. They're gonna just follow in your energy. I invested more in leads than I've ever invested. I mean, at least 2,000 a week. The answer was just always more leads, more leads, more leads, more leads. In turn, got paid about 40,000 in commission. That's awesome, right?
Yep.
But truthfully, it was the decision, and then your action and your energy has to follow suit of that.
I was listening to a podcast the other day, actually, this was a couple weeks back, and this reaffirmed something that I've heard from a few leaders here in this business. But they said the major difference between someone that makes it and someone who doesn't make it is the person, like, and it still could be the same decision. Like, you could still make the decision that I am going all in. I am committing to this. I'm going to change the way I act. I'm going to change the way that I compete. I'm going to change the way that like everything about my week, my schedule, everything. But the major difference is some of those people um, are just interested in that change, and some people are committed to it. And what the commitment is the follow through in their action. So talk about that. Like, what do you see in agents that go after promotions, and what is the difference between the ones that go and hit them, and you consistently see them actually reaching and achieving the things that they say that they're going to, versus the people that continually say that they're going to go after something, and at the end of the day they just fall short? What's the difference between
Yeah.
those two people?
I would say following the system, like the system we have is so clear here. Following the system, being coachable, and hold on, there was one more and it just lost me. It's going to come back. It was something I could see so clearly about Aaron. It'll come back to me. So the system is so simple, you guys. It's so simple. And I watched Erin march this out, and all she focused on was setting appointments. That's all she focused on. She's like, all right, I'm gonna sit down for a dial session and I'm gonna set five. She set five. I'm gonna sit down for another dial session. I'm gonna set five. And the only thing she focused on was setting 20 appointments. You truly don't worry about what happens after that. half of them are going to show up and then you're going to write the other half and it's going to be a-okay. She also increased her lead investment. She was sitting at 20 CIAs. It wasn't quite enough. She wasn't getting the result that she wanted. And so she's like, you know what? I gotta double this. I gotta double. And you guys, a small increase in your lead investment will blow. You'll be so amazed at what that does for you. So amazed. So following the system, being coachable, you definitely need to reach out to your mentor, to sideline people to be like, you're going to have, I remember what the third one is now. You're going to have those down days. You're going to have those down weeks and you need another voice in there. Like you can't do this alone. Absolutely no way that you can do this alone. And then the third thing, I think this is probably the most important thing is mastering emotional stability.
Hmm.
You have got to get your emotions under check. You cannot get too high, you cannot get too low, and that's a skill that you're going to learn over time. I remember in the beginning for me, I was not very emotionally stable with this. And
Yep.
then, another chargeback would happen. Okay, we got this time, right? Or another no show and like your emotional stability will grow with you over time so that when something does hit you, you react less to it, the next time around. And so now you're looking not like this anymore. You're just kind of like this. You're all good. So that's what I would say. Following the system,
Yeah.
um, mastering the emotional stability.
Yep, I agree wholeheartedly. You made a comment earlier that was like, hey, if you're not growing and like pushing after something, then you're probably drifting.
Yeah.
And the examples that you gave of that was, well, I wasn't checking my numbers anymore, and then the snapshot came out, and I wasn't getting fired up about it. Like, I think all the leaders on the team have been here at a certain point in time where that snapshot comes out, and you're just like, I'll just check it tomorrow.
Yeah.
That is not the season that I'm in right now, Trisha. I am checking so fast. I'm so fired up to go see it. I want to go celebrate the people. I want to go see who's winning. And for those of you who don't know what a snapshot is, that's when the final numbers for the month come out. And that's what we base all of our promotions off of. But listening, piggy-tailing off of Danny Young's call from last night, he started off very much in the same vein that we're talking about today of why it's so important to show up every single new month, shooting after something. If you're not going after a goal, if you're not going after a promotion, then like you said in your words earlier, you're probably drifting. So
Yeah.
I've got two questions to finish with you. Like, why do you think promotions are so important in this business? Is it getting the title that we all want, or does it do something for you intrinsically? And then number two part to that question is, what's one thing that you would leave new agents with on this call that you would say if they could commit to over the next 90
Hmm.
days would change their business?
Yeah. So, first one, I don't think that you need to be like hardcore running 24/7. Okay.
Hmm.
Like there's a push, a
Yep.
run, and then there's like, the in between. Now, the in between is the dangerous part. Okay. That's the dangerous part. And even though maybe you're not necessarily pushing, if I take my situation, next is 125, right? Yes, we have growth that needs to happen before we hit 125, but measure something, right? Like measure your interviews, measure your new writers, measure your ready to write, measure your people's promotions, like get to work for them, like measure something. Because the drifting, the coasting, oh Lord, that's a dangerous place. So the promotion, like, what does it mean? I mean, I feel like it's moving forward, like it's going on to that next step. And if you're stagnant, I mean, it feels terrible. That is a terrible place to be, stagnation. What was the second part of my question?
You're going to impart on the newer folks
Oh
here
yeah,
on
yeah.
something for the next 90 days that they can commit to that'll change their
Mm,
business. I know
yeah.
like last week we had Brian Bass on the call. And
Mm-hmm.
he said that when he came home from a trip where he met Dylan Crane,
Yep.
uh, they were on a carrier trip together, and Dylan was like, "Dude, if you go home," and I'm not gonna say what Dylan said because
Yeah, yeah,
Dylan
yeah, yeah.
probably was a little bit more direct with this,
Yeah.
but he was like, "Dude, you're not spending enough on leads. You got to do a consistent A lead order." And so he came
Yep.
home, he increased to $1,000 plus in an A lead order, and it changed his business forever. And so I think the same advice, based on that question would be go commit to a lead order every single week and
Yeah.
don't change it. Just commit to it. So what would your advice be for the team?
Yeah. You're, as a new agent, the number one thing that you can do is getting to sitting with 10 families a week as fast as humanly possible. That is the number one focus. How quickly can you get to where you are sitting with 10 families a week? And I have personally, maybe outside of Gino Locklear, never met somebody that is booking 15 to 20 off of bonus leads. Okay. So, with that, if you are wanting to, because you can always count on rule of halves, set 20, sit with 10, write five, right? You can improve that as time goes on.
Yep.
But to sit with 10 in the beginning, you'll probably have to set about 20. Now, A leads is going to be where that's at. A leads with maybe a mixture of some bonus leads in there.
Yep.
So, with that, you need to go first. You need to lead the way with your investment. You need to invest funds. Scared money don't make no money, right? And so you need to lead the way before the funds are going to follow into your bank account. So don't be afraid to invest the money into your leads, into your learning curve, into you sitting with 10 families, because that is in my opinion, the single most important thing that you can do right out of the gate.
Yeah, I love it. Trisha, you like before coming to Symmetry, you were already so accomplished in what you've done, like badass mom already. You served our country, you got your doctorate degree. Sure, there's a million other things that you've done that I don't know about that got you to this point. You competed in bodybuilding. For Kate and I, we actually scrolled back far enough to find some of those older
Yeah.
older pictures on your socials.
Yeah.
You've done a lot of stuff. But like I remember it was after the last AO mastermind call. I was on the phone with Wilbur right after, and we were like, "Holy smokes!" Like you are already so accomplished, dialed in, just an excellent human. But just to see your growth even in the last 6 months has been the coolest. I remember talking to Wilbur. I'm like, that was a different Trisha. And so I just want to say that to say this
Thank you.
business can reinvent you time after time again. It really can. It's
Absolutely.
one business that exposes, like, that's why Trisha said her number one piece of advice would be emotional maturity,
Yeah.
because it'll give you the ability to look in the mirror without getting too emotional. Like, oh, my numbers are down, I should quit. Like that is the opposite of emotional maturity, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no show or chargeback or someone quit my team. That stuff could take you out of the game. And I'm not just talking about those ways that you've grown. You've grown in so many other
Yeah.
ways, but I'm relating it back to your message from today. So, mad respect for you, Trisha. You have leveled up the entire agency owner group at Symmetry, and I'm thankful for that.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you. Thank you. It's
gosh.
crazy when you look in hindsight. You guys, I just said like my first conference, a year and a half ago, I didn't even believe I deserved a seat at the table. And now I feel like I could call Brian Delaney on the phone. It's the craziest. Like that is why you keep going one foot in front of the other. Constantly reevaluating, talking with your mentors. You just keep going.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, it's Monday, and it's a brand new month, Trisha. Good luck this month. You got this. Let's
Thank
go get
you. You
it.
guys too. You guys too.
Thank you. Yeah, we're rolling off some momentum. I love momentum. Let's ride it. Let's have a great week. Let's kick off the month strong. I will see everybody in the Mac room. Later, y'all.
Bye bye.
Bye, guys.